Hi, this is Toby, and today I'll be working on my Taxodium bonsai from 2022 to 2023 season. Now, before I get started, I do like to apologize that this place is a bit messy. I don't have space for these cacti to go out right now. My South African bulbs are still growing, so that's why they're on this workbench, but I have enough space to work. So, I can see that the buds on the bold cypress are starting to swell. So I'm going to repot it. I don't know if you can see that the tips are green, they're starting to grow. So it's time to repot it. I'm going to put it into a bonsai pot. First, let's take it out of this pot and I'll show you the roots. So now I'm going to quickly show you the root base. If you want to see what I did to it last time, check out my previous video on this tree. I will link it in the description below and at the end of this video. But look at the roots. A lot of coarse roots have grown, and the reason is when you don't use a well draining soil, and because bold cypress can grow in swampy conditions, I did put a pan at the bottom with water just to help it grow a lot of roots, but you won't get fine root systems. So now I'm going to change it to a more well drained soil. I will get some finer roots, but the reason I did this is because I did cut a lot of the roots off, so I did want it to recover, and it has. So now I can sort the roots out and really improve the root system. So let's get started. So we're going to work on the roots. First things first, I'm just going to give a general trim. I think this root's dead that's sticking up. It's not in a good position anyways. Give it a general trim. You can see a lot of woody roots. Again, it's because it's in that swampy condition and it will not grow fine roots in those conditions. So now that I have some better draining soil for it, it should be better. Again, I'm wondering if I need this part. I can certainly shorten it for now. If I can make a flat cut. That. Do I want it to go like that? I think I do, because if I cut it off, there's going to be nothing there. And the tree's going to be about that high, so you're not going to see any bad features of it. These roots are good. These fine roots are looking good. Just prune that back. So I have a basic root base now, but I think it will do well. Again, I've pruned so much more off this tree before. Just checking if I need this root underneath. Actually, a root in between these two that I don't really think I need, so I will try and take that off. I'll get some better tools and I'll take that off and I'll finish cleaning up the root base. So here's the tree. I'm happy with the root base now. I think I've done a good job at pruning it. I've left a lot of the fine roots on, and that's what's going to help support the tree. Here is the pot. I'm going to put the tree down. I'm going to get my wire that I will use to secure the tree in place. So I just put the wire in the pot. I will have to decide which side is the front for the tree, which side the root base looks the best. This side the root base looks really good. There's a scar there of a previous root, but that will heal over. The other side, the roots don't look as good. So I think this will be the front. It's got a nice curve to it, and I think the trunk is really good as well, so I will make this the front. Now it's time to just pile the soil up, so I will get to doing that. That looks quite good, the height. Put the tree, that looks centered to me. I'm going to just gently work it down. That. It's going to be hard to tie the tree when there's barely any roots, but that's okay. That looks good. So hopefully you can see the front. I'll see if I can move back a bit. Hopefully you can see the front. That looks good to me. Don't know how long this tree's going to stay in this pot for. Probably for 2 years. I have worked this tree quite hard in terms of root pruning, and I think it does deserve a bit of a break. And I know this tree will do well. It survived the initial operation of me cutting just the entire root system off. So I'm pretty sure it will survive this operation. So here's the tree all potted up. I know the pot's a bit big for it, but my final vision for the tree is to grow it around up there. It's about double the height now and a bit wider. Want the bottom branches just to be the width of, a bit slightly larger probably than the width of the pot. So that's the goal of this season. We'll see how far we can reach this growing season. We'll let the roots recover, but one more thing we need to do, we need to moss the tree up. And because it was a wet summer and the winter has been quite wet as well, I do have a lot of moss available. You can see even on some of the moss in the maples, the spore capsules forming, so I can just find some moss around the place and I'll moss the tree up slightly. So here's the tree all potted up. I stole a bit of moss from my other plants and just placed it on. It should take off like what happened with the maple, and cover the top of the pot and hopefully retain some water during the summer as well. But very promising, this tree. I really like this new soil I'm using. All the previous soil I've used doesn't drain that well, and we've had a wet summer this season, so the trees didn't do too well. So in case we have a wet summer again, this soil should do the trees well. But if it's going to be dry, I'm going to have to keep up with the watering. Now initially I was going to wire some of these branches, but I think I'll just wait till some of the buds come out a bit more before I do it. They do need rewiring. You can see they've outgrown it and they're going in a weird direction now, some of the tips. So I've got to wire them down again, but that'll be in the next part. So we'll see what happens with this tree. So it's time to rewire the tree. Again, I don't like to overly use wire, so I only want to guide the main branches. Now I'm just going to do one quick bit of pruning. I see 2 branches here. I only want one. The goal for the side branches is that I want one main branch to come out and have kind of like a leader until the tip and alternating branches to the side. So I don't want kind of a fan shape. I don't want one divided into 2, then 2 into 4 that early on. So I want to keep one straight branch, and again I am going to grow the tree slightly wider, so I do want it to get a bit wide. I'm going to clean up the stub here. So I just unwired it. Again, I don't want to use too much wire. The only reason I'm wiring it is because these shoots are going straight up like that, and if I have a tree that looks like that, it's going to look very odd. I want these to go flat and straight right now. I think I might even move the tip of this. There's a new bud there, but I don't really need that. I want them to go straight, and I think without wire, I don't think that's actually achievable. So what I've just quickly done is wired it up. I moved the branches just slightly more down. You can see now it looks a lot more natural. I know these branches are a bit long. We are going to prune it into a triangle shape later on in the season. I'm not too worried about that now. Now I'm going to do a bit of bud selection. Now any branches that's coming from existing branches, or any buds that could potentially come from existing branches, we're going to take those off. I think this branch has died, but there's a new bud next to it, so I can take that off. All the other ones we're going to keep. I did accidentally rub a few off when I was wiring it, but that's okay. They will grow back. We're going to get a lot more shoots on the trunk. Right now it's just starting to bud out, so I am sure there's going to be plenty more buds coming from the trunk. So here's the tree back in its position now. I did say I wasn't going to prune the top, but I think I accidentally knocked it and this branch is split on the top. So I think I'm just going to remove that branch if I can, and hopefully not damage the tree. So I've kind of removed those 2 branches. I still kept the leader on. Again, I do want this to grow a bit taller. I don't think cutting that off is going to matter anyway, since that's going to come off anyways. But the tree so far looks a lot better. I'm getting the primary structure set out, and this is probably the final length I want the side branches to be, or the main leader of the side branches. So I'm going to try and thicken this part up this season. Now I know the wire is going to bite in a little bit. I don't mind if it bites in a little bit, because I do want these branches to thicken and set in place. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see how the tree leaves out. So it's time to do a bit of pruning and a bit of wiring on this tree. I've let it regain some vigor. You can see lots of new shoots. This is really good. I've got 2 strong branches here that I really need to lower, especially this branch, because it will go up like that and compete for a leader. I'm gonna do a bit of pruning. There's a bit of I don't know what stuff this is, but that curls the needles around it. I think it's probably a little caterpillar or something. I just want to get rid of that stuff. There's some here as well, because I don't want disease on this tree. But other than that, there isn't really much I need to prune off. Maybe some of these shoots, these are just little fronds that they won't turn into branches. So I think I can remove those just to make the wiring a bit easier. Probably just pull them off like that. But let's do a bit of wiring. So I wonder if I'm going to keep a lot of these. I will keep a lot of these branches. I do want a decent branch density. Might wire these. I know it's a bit thin, but I think I'll get away with it. So I think that's enough wiring for today. I was looking if I need this branch or not, but because I have that branch that's coming to the right side of it and it looks a lot better, this can come off just to create a bit more space. Don't think I need this small branch. I'm wondering if I need this. I think I will keep it. I won't wire it for now. I want that to gain a bit of vigor because it's at the bottom, and if I wire it down and it's at the bottom, it might not be strong enough. So we're gonna let the top grow. I'll let it grow. I'll fertilize the tree and we'll see what happens. Here's another bold cypress update. I'm going to prune it today. I am going to remove these two lower branches. I don't think I need it, because I think if I lower this branch down, it makes it really nice here. I don't think I need something this low, and it'll clean the bottom up a bit. Do you want a relatively clean trunk? All of these shoots I'm going to just take off. I will clean those wounds up afterwards. I'm going to take the top off. I was going to do this. Let's just take it up to, I wonder where's a good bud. There's a good bud there. Let's just take that off. Take the top off. Take this branch off. I don't need one over there. I will wire this one down. And I know right now the tree looks like it's just been kind of decapitated. That's okay. I will get a lot more growth. I will have to pinch all the other shoots as well. This one needs to get wired down, so I am going to do that. The tip of this is very, very delicate, so I don't want to accidentally damage it. This I'm going to just wrap around the stub. See if I can move this down a bit more. There we go. So I've actually got all the branches I need in good places. Oh, and I just realized the one at the bottom. So let me get my other piece of wire. I'm not going to use too much wire because these are very delicate branches. I don't want to risk damaging them. You can see I'm not using that much wire. I've only used a tiny bit of wire there. So we'll let the bottom grow out. I might do a bit of pinching. It's okay. Maybe I can bring this forward with the wire as well. If you want this to come a bit forward. There we go. So this is what it looks like, and when it grows in a bit more, I'll show you. So here's an update of the Taxodium, and I think it's time to prune it again after I took the top off. It's filling in back very nicely. Look at how much growth we have, so much new growth. So I will have to sort this out a bit. I'm looking at what I need to cut off. This is growing straight up. We can always wire that down. This branch that I've pruned off, lots of new shoots, a bit clustered here. The stuff that's growing straight up, I'm taking off. Everything else that is growing kind of flat, I will keep. This I can always wire it down, or I can take it off, but because it's near the apex and it's very vigorous, that can come off. Same with this shoot that is going straight up. Now this is a new leader. I don't know if you can see. This is a new leader, but there's also a branch higher than it and it's going horizontal. I don't think I need that part because I do want this to be a relatively clean leader. So I'm going to take that off. I've got this branch here. Do I need it? It's competing with this, but do I have anything else in that direction? Do I need? No, don't need it. It's only going to bulge up that area and cause more issues. I didn't use this because it is already starting to bulge. think everything else is fine. I think I let the tree grow a bit more so it gains some more vigor, but I'm liking it. I'm liking how the tree looks. It does need to be taller though, so I will let it grow out. So I'll put it back and I'll show you another update when it grows more. Here's a final update of the Taxodium bonsai. It's done pretty well this season, put on a lot of growth. I've established a new leader that's gonna grow for probably another season and it should thicken up. I'm not gonna remove the wires just yet. I know it's gonna cut in a bit, but I don't mind that because I do want these branches to set before I actually unwire the tree. Very promising. The trunk is starting to get a decent thickness. I do see it thickening up, and I think next season when I just let it grow again and at the top grow, I think it'll thicken significantly. But very happy with this tree. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I will answer them. But anyways, thanks for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.